Hi, this is Kylie Koo. Welcome to my studio. Our prompt this week in the Mixed Media Emporium Facebook group is Let's Journal, and this is my Chunky Funky journal. So if you're in the Facebook group, it's a very wide open prompt again to work in whatever sort of journal you want. A junk journal, collage journal, a scrapbook journal, glue book, smash book, whatever you want. And of course, you could use anything that you've made in the previous weeks and incorporate it into a journal page or whatever. I had fully intended to work in my kind of nature journal, as I'm calling it, the one that I did with the Japanese stab binding, and I'll leave a link above and below. But I just wasn't feeling it this week. I was just looking for some fun. So I pulled out this journal that I started over 4 years ago and decided to do a page in it. I pulled out some things from my resource folder that we made at the start of the year, and also from various files, just plastic folders that I have collage images in. And I thought, I just want to be quite free this week in terms of what I do, pull out some images. I don't know quite what I would call my Chunky Funky journal other than a kind of collage book, but it could be junk because it's coming from various different sources. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what these books or journals are. This one is just about being a bit free in my approach and just getting down and having some fun. And I've been thinking for a while, I need to get rid of a lot of this collage stuff because there's stuff I pull out of magazines, out of flyers, out of whatever, and that I've put into these folders. I've roughly tried to categorise them, and I keep thinking, I need to get rid of this, I'm not using it. But today, when I started on this page, I realised I've really got some interesting stuff in here. So, there's definitely some stuff I won't use, and maybe I do need to get rid of it. But by the same token, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not going to use. So what you're seeing here is me going through a lot of these potential collage images. So the background piece there of that tree was from a brochure for holidays. And then you'll see there a Joe Brown's catalogue. And I had the same image, or a very similar image, in 2 different sizes. So I'm starting to just work through my images and think about what is it that I can actually add into my page here. I'm not looking to create anything in particular. It's more just about kind of pulling some images together. They don't all need to go with each other, but it's just about pulling something together that's going to create a page that when I look at it, I think, yeah, I like that. So as I start to pull my page together, I'm really liking that background, which I think was from a travel catalogue, and I think it's a picture of Africa, and I really liked this image in the Joe Brown's catalogue. Now it was in 2 sizes, so I kind of look at both and try and decide which size will look better on my page. Now in a sense, I got really absorbed into, rather than just sticking things down, actually thinking about what looked good compositionally. Now, sometimes these sort of books, it's just about getting on with it, not thinking too much about it, not overthinking it. But sometimes, as much as I can work that way, other times I find myself dragged into that, what do I think looks better? And there's not a right way and there's not a wrong way. You've just got to do whatever is you. And some days it might be one thing, and other days it might be something entirely different. And that's absolutely okay. There are some days I will just kind of slap things down and hope for the best, and other days where I will think a bit more about, does this look right, does it not look right? And as I say, not there's not one way that's right and one way that's wrong. Now here, or just before that, I have pulled out some images that I've used before in pages from a sort of travel flyer, and it's of structures called the Kelpies. And these two structures are absolutely magnificent. Both stand at over 100 feet tall and weigh more than 300 tons each. And, you know, obviously they're a man-made wonder and an absolute feat of engineering. They're based on mythological creatures, beasts that possess the strength and endurance of 100 horses, and just wonderful. And they sit off the M8, which is a motorway kind of between Edinburgh and Glasgow, and in the Falkirk area, and you can see them off the M8 as you drive past, and they are just absolutely magnificent. So very much something that is Scottish. I'm taking that little bit of African background and the Joe Brown's catalogue image, which to me gives a feeling of a kind of US cowgirl type feel. And I'm just going to try and bring these all together. So I'm going to use some paints here to try and bring the background, bring a bit of background uniformity that will help merge the images together, so it's not looking to create something that is meaningful in any way. It's just about trying to put some different pieces together that create something that is pleasing to the eye. And I guess at the end of the day, I really mean pleasing to my eye, because you know, that's where art is important for ourselves. It's about what we create that brings pleasure to ourselves. Honestly, it doesn't matter what others think. You know, I'm delighted that, you know, people hit the thumbs up, that leave lovely comments on my videos. But at the end of the day, I've got to do something that means something to me. And if I have a message for you from this video, it's create what pleases you, not what you think will please others. So, just to say a bit more about this kind of approach to my chunky funky and all that's going on here. 4+ years ago, I saw a video from Crystal from the channel Art It Out, and she was creating a book like this. Now I think everybody does their own book in their own way, but she had actually followed an approach by Dawn of the channel. It's now called Let's Make a Mess Today, and I have watched quite a number of Dawn's videos now. She does what she calls her fatty patty, and Dawn, she's got a great approach to filling books like this, where she just gets it in and gets it down. I kind of overthought, I want to say overthunk, but that's not right. I kind of put a bit too much of a kind of thinking process into this when I was thinking about colours and backgrounds and all of that. And Dawn has a great approach where she just kind of gets things down and into her fatty patties, as she calls them. But she still makes great pages without sometimes thinking too much about it. And she doesn't always necessarily call it art, but I think it is art. So anything like this, anything that's creative, I think it's, you know, it's art, no matter what anybody else might call it. So I'm going to leave a link to both Crystal, because that's where I first saw a kind of approach like this, And I'm also going to leave a link to Dawn, to both their channels. I know that Dawn had seen it somewhere before that, but I think it was a way back then. So I'll leave a link to both of their channels below. And if you get the chance to check out both of them, then that would be great. But, I still try and watch Dawn's videos whenever I can. I catch Crystal's videos whenever I can. And it's just nice sometimes to do something like this that's just quite freeing in terms of approach. As I say, the way I was doing it today, I was maybe overthinking it a bit in times, but, that doesn't matter. The whole point is just sitting doing something that gives you pleasure. It doesn't matter if it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, several hours. It's about enjoyment, and that's what I got from doing this. Although I stopped and thought about colours and did this match, where was this best placed, it was just quite freeing in its approach. So I am going to leave you for a little while. I'm going to put some music to this, and I will come back towards the end. I always cut out words and phrases that come from magazines, from books, from flyers, etc. And this phrase, escape the humdrum, just seemed to come out of my folder of collaged words that just seemed to resonate with this page. It just seemed to fit so well with my background from Africa, what I'm calling a US cowgirl, my kelpies, and all of that, the colours, the flowers, etc. So, you create a page or whatever in a journal, just do what is you and thoroughly enjoy it. And of course, Nina will have put up a video this week, and I'll leave a link to her video below. So if you're in the Mixed Media Emporium Facebook group, let's journal. Just do what is you. And I so look forward to seeing what you create. If you're not in the group and you don't want to be a member, that's okay. Let me know what you create. Not everyone's on Facebook, but if you want to join us, there's a link in the description box below. And thank you so much to everyone that likes my videos, comments on my videos, subscribes to me. Thanks so much for just being you. I hope to see you next time. Do take care. Bye for now.